Hello there. Today I'm looking at what is a very beautiful verse. It's from Micah chapter 6 verse 8. I don't know if you read the minor prophets much. That's the ones that follow after Daniel. There's 12 of them. Some of them are quite difficult to read, but if you were able to read Hosea, Joel, Amos and Micah, particularly Hosea, Amos and Micah, they were more or less contemporaries of Isaiah, and their message is very similar, and it is summed up really in Micah, one of the shorter ones, that it was not enough, it was no good coming to God with lots of sacrifices and observing all the feasts and all the rules and regulations of the law if you were doing evil things when you went home from the temple. It's all over Micah, but in Micah 3:11 it says, Jerusalem's heads give judgment for a bribe, its priests teach for hire, its prophets divine for money. Yet they lean upon the Lord and say, is not the Lord in the midst of us? They were taking bribes, they were corrupt. And in 6:11 it says, shall I acquit the man with wicked scales, with a bag of deceitful weights? He's talking about the marketplace, people being dishonest in their dealings. You want 2 kilos of potatoes? Right, I'll put the 2 kilo weight on, but the weight is false and it only weighs 1.5 kilos, and you balance it with the potatoes and you cheat people. They were doing that in their work, their day-to-day work. They were dishonest. In their ruling of things, they were dishonest. I think it's Amos that says, you sell the needy for a pair of shoes. They were just after the money side of things. And then in chapter 7 it says, put no trust, verse 5, put no trust in a neighbour, have no confidence in a friend, guard the doors of your mouth from her who lies in your bosom. In other words, don't tell your wife anything, because she'll use it against you. For the son treats the father with contempt, and the daughter rises up against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the men of his own house. You couldn't trust your nearest and dearest, because they would sell you out. It was all greed and corruption and dishonesty. And in the middle of it is this wonderful verse, Micah 6 verse 8. But he has shown you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justice, and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. That's what God is. And Jesus echoed this in all his teaching, didn't he? That it wasn't about what you did. Because these people, it looked as if they were very religious. They did all the right religious things. They didn't neglect the sacrifices. They did all the sacrifices as required. But the thing was, the moment they were outside the temple, they were contriving ways to make money. In their night time, there's one verse which I've mislaid for a moment, that at night, on their beds at night, they were planning how to make more money the next day. True worship of God is life, is a lifestyle. Following Jesus involves letting the life principles of God affect every part of your life, so that in every aspect of your life you are following Jesus. And for me it works out sometimes in conflicts. You know, I have a very high expectation of myself with regard to commitment. I determined when I decided to follow Jesus that I would be like Caleb, and I would follow the Lord wholeheartedly. Commit myself completely to him. And throughout life, if I have decided that before the Lord it's right to do a particular thing, I have been committed to it. And unless I'm ill, I do it. I don't do it just when I feel like doing it or when things are going well. I do it unless I'm ill or away on holiday. So if I'm committed to something every Thursday afternoon, and somebody says, "Oh, I'm doing something special on Thursday, will you come?" I will say, "I'm sorry, I can't. Thursday I'm committed to this particular activity." I take commitment very seriously, and therefore I don't agree to do something on a regular basis unless I can fulfill my commitment. The Lord sets us high standards, but every part of our life is about commitment. It is about commitment. And once you are committed to something, and honesty and uprightness and walking with God, for me it results in, if I have committed myself to doing something, I don't stop doing it just because I'm fed up with it and I've been doing it long enough and I don't think I want to do it anymore. I would only stop doing that thing that I felt the Lord told me to do unless the Lord tells me to stop doing it. Then I'll stop. So, honesty, the way we live our lives, the uprightness of heart, this is, I'm not saying don't go to church. I'm not saying don't be committed to church. Don't go and worship. Yes, we should worship. But that should be part of a lifetime of worship. Following Jesus is not just for Sundays only. It's for every hour of every day. We are committed to him. We are following him. We're not fair weather Christians, only following him when things are good. In fact, when things have gone badly, your best place is to be with the people of God, being supported and prayed for. But we shouldn't be fair weather Christians, only supporting the fellowship when we feel like it. And if we wake up on a Sunday morning and we feel a bit tired and fed up and it's all a bit of an effort, we just don't bother. No, commitment is different to that. Just like we should be committed to our place of work. We shouldn't be work shy. We shouldn't be using every opportunity to get time off work. We should be committed to do the best we ever can at everything that we do, an excellent spirit, so that we are conscientious in everything that we do, and we honour the God we serve as we do that. That's Micah 6, verse 8. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.